This is my audience. Hello, my name is Caleb Creasman, and today I will be talking about why private prisons are harmful on society in the United States. So, what are private prisons? Private prisons are for-profit prisons that are owned by companies rather than being owned by the government. According to a report by the Sentencing Project, at least half of the states in the United States have some sort of private prison. Tennessee alone has one of the higher percentages of inmates within private prisons. In 2021, about 30% of Tennessee inmates were located in private prisons, while Montana had one of the highest percentages of inmates in private prisons, being 49%. So why are private prisons actually bad? One of the major reasons that private prisons are bad is because the motives behind private prisons. The main goal of a private prison is one thing: to make a profit however possible. One of the major ways they're able to make a profit is by cutting costs. And one of the ways they cut costs is by reducing staff and reducing the amount of training that staff receive. A case study done by AFSCME found that incidents of assault are far higher in private prisons compared to public ones due to shortages in staff and weak security. Another way that private prisons will cut costs is by neglecting prisoner needs. According to ACLU.org, there were multiple reports of private prisons in Mississippi attempting to save money by starving mentally ill inmates and neglecting medical needs for inmates. It was reported in one private prison in East Mississippi, inmates whose cries for medical attention were ignored resulted to setting fires within their own prison cells to get the attention of staff. Another negative effect that private prisons have is on the justice system. The practice of lobbying from private prison companies hurts the integrity of our justice system. And according to the journalist resource, between 1999 and 2010, companies spent over $45 million on lobbying Congress to create policies that better benefit private prisons. This included policies that fuel mass incarceration, such as mandatory minimum sentences or bed mandates. Another harmful impact that private prisons have is on society as a whole. A problem with private prisons is that they are a large contributor to racial inequality within our justice system. The previously mentioned bed mandates are a way that companies can ensure they stay in business by requiring ICE to maintain an average amount of inmates within private prisons. According to sentencingproject.org, there are an average of 28,000 people held daily in immigrant detention centers, and it is estimated about 79% of this population is held in privately run facilities. So, are there actually any benefits to private prisons? Well, one of the most common arguments in favor of private prisons is that it helps to reduce the number of inmates within government-owned prisons. While this might seem like a positive at first, after researching and investigating more into it, private prisons actually have something called a lockup quota within their contracts, and this helps to keep their prisons full. Because of these quotas, private prisons are actually contributing to the problem of overcrowding more than they are helping it. This is because officers are having to make more arrests and incarcerate more people into these prisons in order to meet quota. In conclusion, private prisons prioritize making profits, which can lead to poor conditions for prisoners, negative effects on the justice system, and harmful societal impacts. Instead of turning to private prisons, state governments should invest in alternatives to prisons, such as rehabilitation programs for lesser nonviolent crimes like first offense drug possession, shoplifting, and reckless driving. The debate on private prisons underscores a much more important need for proper criminal justice reform within our country. These are my sources: Why Prison Privatization is Bad, a Case Study by Melissa Weinstein; Private Prisons Are the Problem, Not the Solution by Gabriel Eber and Margaret Winter; Private Prisons in the United States by Kristen Budd; Private Prisons, Research Data and Controversies by David Trilling. Thank you for listening.